Hello everyone. Today we are going to be talking about peer coaching. This is a requirement for teachers who are in their years 4 through 7 evaluation cycles. This presentation will show you the what, whys, and hows of doing peer coaching. We're going to start with what is peer coaching and why we require it in Parkway. In Parkway, peer coaching is defined as an educator who engages in a data collection and reflective conversation with another educator for the purpose of professional growth. Basically, that means you're going to get together with another teacher. They're going to watch you teach, concentrating on an area that you asked them to, and then you're going to have a conversation afterwards along with a written reflection. Again, any teacher after year 3 can do this, but peer coaching is required as part of the evaluation for years 4 through 7 teachers. Here's why we do it. Research says that 5% of learners transfer a new skill into their practice if they understand the theory. 10% will transfer it if they understand the theory and they see it demonstrated. 20% will transfer the skill if they know the theory, they see it demonstrated, and they have a chance to be trained on how to do it and get some practice. And 25% will transfer a new skill if they know the theory, demonstration, practice it with some training, and they get feedback. So that's pretty decent. However, 90% of teachers will transfer the new skill into their practice if they do all those things we talked about and they go through a coaching cycle. So it is a very valuable way to learn a little more about your own practice. So coaching. One thing I want to be sure that we understand is coaching is really something that is for the coachee, the person that's being coached. It is a non-judgmental, non-risky, I guess I would say, situation. The person being coached should be the person who is directing everything and is saying what they want to grow in and how they want to do that. It is not meant to be a situation where another teacher comes in and tells you, here's how I would do it, or here's the quick fix. Coaching is really about learning about yourself and your own practice. So, what do you need to do? The first thing that you have to do is identify who that peer coaching partner is going to be. So you need to just pick a teacher, and it can be anyone. It's totally up to you. It can be somebody in your grade level, in your subject area, or someone who's from another part of the building in a different subject area. And sometimes that's easier, actually, to coordinate. But you choose, you go to that person and say, hey, will you be my peer coaching partner? And they're going to say, yeah, of course I want to do that because I think you're so awesome. And then you guys will enter that into peers, who your partner is going to be. Now, once you have chosen that partner and they've agreed to do it, you need to meet with them and discuss two things. One, you need to discuss your PLP. Your coaching cycle should be revolving around your PLP, what you want to get better at this year. And then you need to identify when the observations are going to take place. You will need to observe each other 2 times this school year. Once you've decided that, you're pretty much done until you get close to your observation date. When you get close to your observation date, you're going to have a planning conversation, and we'll talk about what that is in a moment. Then you will do the classroom observation, have a reflection on it. You're going to talk about it, and then the teacher who was coached will submit a written reflection to their administrator through peers. So just to kind of let you know what that means, a planning conversation is simply the peer coach and the teacher get together. They talk about the lesson that the coach is going to be observing. They find out the area of growth that the teacher who's going to be teaching would like to have them concentrate on, if there's any data they want to collect, including just observational data. And then the context of the class. The teacher wants to be sure that this peer coach knows kind of what's going on in the class so that they don't come in blind. Then, when you sit down to have this planning conversation, the person who's doing the coaching needs to go into peers and log in. You're going to go to the evaluation page, And you're going to go towards the bottom to where it says add a peer pre-observation. When you click on that, you're going to enter both teachers' names. The teacher who's being observed, represented here by Dan Tripp, and the person who is going to be the peer coach, Ann LaPiccolo. You'll enter all the other information, including when you're talking, when you think your post conversation will be, and the domain that you're focusing on. Once you have all that done, where it says student outcomes, what do you want your students to know or do by the end of the lesson? What are the essential questions? This is simply a place for the peer coach to take notes. That's it. They're going to take notes so they remember what you've talked about. They're also going to talk about what kind of data they want collected. And again, it's just notes. Once you've finished that, you're going to save and complete. Now, the day comes for the lesson's observation. That peer coach can look back at their notes and remember, oh yeah, this is what I'm supposed to be looking for. And then they're going to come in the classroom. They're going to observe what the teacher's doing and collect any of the data that teacher wanted them to collect. And then they're going to leave. After that's over, you should have set a date to have a post conversation. And really that ought to be done fairly quickly in the next couple of days so that you guys both have it fresh in your mind. During that post conversation, the peer coach is going to log into the screen on Peers again, go to evaluation, and then now you're going to see that you have the option to add a peer post observation. That's what you want to add. You're going to then, because you added the pre-observation, you're going to see the name of that teacher that you watched, that you observed in their classroom, and you're going to select that person. You're going to add all of the information, again, including the domain, and then you're just going to have a conversation under general impressions. How do you think it went? The peer coach is just going to ask some questions and really listen and kind of document the conversation for the teacher so the teacher can see what their thinking was. We'll talk a little more about questions you can ask later in this screener. Once you have done that and you've come up with like possible next steps, you click Save. And the coach's portion is finished. From there, the teacher has to do a written reflection that they will submit to their administrator through Peers. So once the coach has had that post-conversation and clicked Save, the coach's job is done in this portion of the coaching cycle. The teacher then will log in, go to evaluation on their own account, and they will go to edit or view a peer post observation. Once they do that, you will be able to see that a reflection box appears on the teacher's page. So after you've had the pre-observation, the post-observation, the teacher that's responsible will go into their own account and complete the reflection portion. This reflection portion is the only part of the entire process the administrator will see. And you will simply think back and talk about what did you learn about yourself through this process, about your teaching, what direction do you want to go as a result of having this conversation with the teacher. Make sure you save that and you send it to your evaluator. So that's a lot of information. Hopefully you can go back and go through it, but of course your coach can always help you with that nuts and bolts part. The last part of this that I want to share is how do you peer coach? Because it can seem intimidating if you're thinking, I'm going to go watch this teacher teach and I'm supposed to somehow magically know how to talk with them about it. Well, I'm going to tell you right now that you know how to talk to your peers about teaching because you're all good teachers and you trust each other if you're asking someone to come in your classroom. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that coaching toolkit. There are things called listening set-asides when you're coaching. These are kind of things to be careful about. When you're having that post-observation discussion, be careful that you're not getting autobiographical, where you're saying like, yeah, me too, I've seen that happen. I've had this happen in my classroom. Something that is sometimes tough for me and tough for a lot of people because we're human and we want to make those connections. But really try to stay away from that. Try to not be too terribly inquisitive. You ask questions if you need to know something, but don't ask all that nitty-gritty stuff to try and really drill down. A lot of what you want to do is simply just listen. And then finally, what is hard for a lot of teachers is try to avoid solution listening. Oftentimes we want to offer solutions and things that have worked for us, but it's really much more powerful if that teacher can kind of come to that understanding or that decision on their own. So those are things to kind of set aside and say, I'm going to work on not doing this. However, we do want to inquire about things to broaden our thinking. So if I need clarification, or if I want to kind of ask where they were headed with something, asking questions is okay. Ask those things that are going to be open-ended. Inquiry questions are often questions like, what are some ways you might? Are there any of this kind of stuff you've considered? What are the possibilities? How do you know if things went the way that you wanted them to go? Those open-ended questions. You can ask probing questions. Try to think about language. If they say all the kids were off task, you might say, do you really mean everyone? You might think about, are they being vague? Are they saying my students won't do this, or my students are doing all talking at the same time? Really ask, which students are we talking about and who do you mean? It helps people clarify their thinking. And then finally, if all else fails, ask your instructional coach to help you out. That's what we're here for. We would be happy to sit with you guys as you do your post conversation and or have a discussion beforehand about what this is really supposed to look like. Bottom line, you guys, this is all about your learning. It's all about your learning as a teacher. You're learning together about some different things you can do in the classroom. And it shouldn't hopefully be too intimidating. If you have any questions, please see your instructional coach and we will help you through the entire process. Otherwise, good luck and have a great school year.